Today in Berlin, the blockade has been lifted. The Soviets have finally agreed to let supplies through. What started with the autobahn closing and then escalated has finally ended. This picture shows one of the airlifts as people patiently wait to get their food.
That's right, it all began with the autobahn being closed. Then the Soviets closed the city and outlawed river travel. It was clear that the Soviets didn't want anyone to leave when they closed all the trains, ending any hope for transportation in or out of the city. 2 days later, after it was clear that the Soviets were not going to aid the East Berliners, the U.S. sent help. We'll take it to Brianna with more news.
Thank you, Kimberly. And yes, just yesterday the blockade was lifted, causing millions to swamp. After America dropped at least 125 tons of cereal. Now, here we have Leslie, who has actually lived through the blockade. Tell us, Leslie, anything better?
Yes, well, there was one pilot called Gail Heverson who would drop gum and candy, and on April 16, 1949, Easter Parade, so many airplanes were flying by and dropping us food and clothing. There was usually always planes in the sky every 30 seconds. We would hear them and run because we knew they meant good news.
Interesting. Yes, and although Britain also tried to help, they were also devastated because of World War II. And the U.S. was the main provider of supplies, items like clothes, foods, and coal. In fact, at the weight of the operation, one plane would land every 45 seconds. Throughout the 22 years time span, 2.3 million tons of cargo were dropped into West Berlin. In this graph, you can see all the items that were given to Berliners. Here's Leslie again with some facts on how the lift started.
Yes, so it began with the U.S. calling it Operation Vittles. But then the British came and called it plain fare. However, at the end, they both ended up calling them Combined Airlift Take Force. In this map, you can see how the planes flew from either the British sector or the American sector.
Now I'll take it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, that's right. And not only did they do it to help, but the U.S. did it to win the battle against the Soviets. Thus, U.S. looked good with the airlifts, while the Soviets looked like horrible people.
Yes, and another reason that the Soviets did not stop the airlift is that they didn't want to risk another war, and they felt that an attack to the airlift would cause one.
Overall, the whole blockade occurred because France, Britain, and U.S. wanted Germany to become one nation. However, the Soviets did not want to unite and wanted the nation to be divided. See you later for more news.